I'm Sebastian, and this is Mann class, and I'm reading The Monsters Monster by Patrick McDonnell. Crouch, Crump, and Little Gloom and Doom thought they're monsters. Yeah. They lived in a dark monster castle, high atop a dark monster mountain, overlooking a monster-fearing village. Their little heads were always filled with big monster thoughts. Smash, crash, smash! Laughing and puffing, mad about nothing. Their 10 favorite words were no, 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 and no! Every day they argued over who's the biggest, baddest monster, who could complain the loudest, who could throw the most terrible tantrum, who was the most miserable. These debates ended in a brawl. One day, they decided to settle the argument once and for all. Grouch got some tape, tack, staples, and glue. Grouch found some gauze and gobs of goo. Gloom and Doom got bolts, wires, and a smelly old shoe. Together, they would make a monster. Monster. The biggest, baddest monster ever. They hoisted their creation into the stormy sky. BAM! A lightning bolt sent a powerful jolt to the creature. The monster started to twitch. He's alive! Alive! Little Carols exclaimed. The monster roared and he stumbled around, tearing away his bandages. Big! Little Groom squeaked. Bad! Little Groom squealed. Monster! They all cheered together. The growling giant reached toward them. And then, in a deep, booming voice, he said his first words. Thank you! Thank you! He crushed him to his chest with a tight squeeze. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Monster wiggled his stubby fingers. He looked around and wondered. Then he flew open the window. The room filled with warm early dawn, like bird songs, and dewy fresh air. Monster smelled and let out a little giggle. What do you think you're doing? Cried Grouch. Monster bounced about the room, gently greeting the many bats, spiders, rats, and snakes. No, 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 no! Shouted the girl. You're supposed to be a monster! But the monster didn't think he was a monster. He didn't think he was anything. But thankful to be alive. Monster became still for sniffing a hint of sweetness in the morning air. Suddenly, he let out a roar and smacked through the den wall. Ha ha! Grouch laughed. He's finally coming to his senses. Yes, yes! Shouted Grump. He's off to make mayhem in the village. He's going to smash, crash, and bash. Cried Gloom and Doom. The rascals dashed after Monster, trying to keep up with the long strides on the mountain. Monster! Monster! They cheered after him. The village bakery was just opening for the day when Monster plowed through the door. Grouch, Grump, and Grump and Gloom Doom exhaustedly and anxiously waited outside the shop, peering through the dusty windows. Big, whispered Gloom. Bad, whispered Doom. Shh, begged Grump. I want to hear the howls and yells. There was a tense quiet, and then they finally, from inside the bakery, they heard, "Thank you!" Monster appeared, clutching a white paper bag. Then he turned and headed out of town toward the beach. After him, the trio cried, "Monster! Monster!" Monster slowly knelt down on the soft, cool sand. Grouch, Grump, and Little Gloom and Doom collapsed into a heap around him. Then, as they tried to catch their breath, Monster gently patted their heads and carefully opened the bag and gave each of them a warm, powdered jelly donut. Grouch, Grump, and Little Gloom and Doom were speechless. But then they remembered what the big bad monster had said. "Thank you." Monster looked at them and smiled. They smiled back, and together they all started to go. Grouch, Grump, and Little Gloom and Doom and their new friend sat quietly on the shore, watching the sunrise. And the seagulls flying, and the seagulls dancing, and the ocean listening, and no one was thinking about being a monster. This book is The Monster's Monster, and they're always arguing. And one day they settled their argument, and they got all this stuff, and they made a big monster. And then he said, "Thank you," and he crushed him to his chest. And then he threw open the window, and then he smacked, and then he said, "No, no, 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 no!" My favorite word, no, 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 and no! And then after he opened the window, he greeted spiders, rats, snakes, and mice. And then he smashed through the dungeon wall, and he went down the mountain, and then he got jelly donuts, and then after that he went to the beach, and then after that he gave him a jelly donut and knelt down on the ground, watching everything, and no one was thinking about being a monster. Bye.